What in the world does that mean? Well, everybody's talking about authenticity. It's an overused buzzword, and nobody knows what it means, and everybody talks about it. And I love writing books, and we talk about authentic story and storytelling, and there's a dozen a day folks who invite you to write your story or to write a book or to tell your story and make an impact. And you know what? All those things are right and they're true. But I'm going to start with a different premise. I'm going to start with an invitation to think about whatever business you're in. Like whatever your business is. I have the idea that your business is the most authentic, or could be, your business could be the most authentic version, the most authentic expression of yourself. Now, can you imagine being in business where every day, all day long, you were required or invited to be your most authentic self? Now, you hear people say, well, the world couldn't handle me, I couldn't handle my true self. And the idea there is somehow I've got to be restrained from who I am fully because we or the rest of the world somehow couldn't handle that. Well, what if that's just an excuse? What if not only could the world handle it, but they're hungering for it? What if there was a hunger for you and me to be our most authentic selves? There's a disease that's worse than COVID, and it's called WITOT, W-I-T-O-T, and it stands for What I Think Others Think. And that fungus gets in the way so powerfully of our opportunities every single day. Like, we are so worried, whether it's on social media or it's in an interaction or anything. I had an opportunity to have a lunch club meeting yesterday. And if you don't know what lunch club is, it's kind of a cool AI. Look it up, lunch club. It's an AI, artificial intelligence platform where you get to meet people. And I've been on it now for 13 months. And I've met 2 people a week, which means I've probably met 130 or 40 people from all over the world. It's really cool. Anyway, I met a guy yesterday who had been an architect for many years. He was a very fascinating guy. And he talked about how fearful it is to meet people. And yet, as I listened to him and asked him questions and dug into his story, he was a very interesting fellow. And I told him so. And I said, hey, and we talked about meeting people and networking and business and all the kinds of things that you talk about when you meet a new person. And I dug into that, and it just drove home. In fact, that's the catalyst for me wanting to do this post here now today, and that is the most authentic version of yourself. Do you even know what that is? Like, what is the true you? When you wake up in the morning, do you review who you are? I know that probably sounds weird, but I do. I think about who am I? And I have a declaration, big long list of things that I go through. And one of them is like I'm a beacon of light. And one of them is I'm a vessel of love. And one of them is I'm a conduit of power. And as a coach, and there's a whole bunch of them, and I'm not going to say them all now because it's not really important, but they're statements that I have chosen. And this is the fun part. I have chosen to have them represent me, and these are who I want to be, and I do that in my own room, in the mirror, or in the dark, or on the floor when I'm meditating or whatever I'm doing, and I go over these things to remind me, to drill into me, because sometimes we wake up and one day is different than the next, right? And somebody said the other day in a place that I saw, God always gives us second chances. And you know what it's called? Tomorrow. Well, tomorrow comes. And no matter what we did yesterday, however big we succeeded or however woefully we failed, we get a chance to be again now. A new day, a new opportunity. So that's why I review this list of things that I've decided to be. Now, I don't care if you write books. I don't care if you sell widgets. I don't care if you're an Arbonne distributor. I don't care if you work in Home Depot or if you're a counselor or anything. It isn't about what you do or what I do. It's about who you are being as you do it. So, for example, one of the opportunities I have is I work in my church in the youth program. Last night, we had a meeting of 7 or 8 or so youth leaders, and we met at someone's house and had a great dinner. It was really good. The host cooked some food. I didn't know we were going to have dinner, so I'd already had dinner. So I had 2 dinners. But anyway, we talked about how to best serve the youth and how to make the youth program better and all that kind of stuff. And it was interesting for me to watch the difference in the people. Like some were there, going to be hard and this and that. And so they were being pessimistic, withdrawn, unenergetic, as their stance toward this activity. And other people that were there, including me, because I choose to be that, were there with positive. Well, we could do this, and it might turn out if we do this, and what if we try this? And it was the same conversation. So 2 or 7 or 8 people were there in the same conversation about the same thing, ostensibly with the same outcome: to improve the youth program, to serve the youth, help them have good activities, learn social skills, and do all the kinds of stuff. Teenagers, basically, from 12 to 18. And our goal is to help them from a church point of view to grow up and interface well in society and do all that kind of stuff. And it was just astounding about how much impact the attitude or approach that each person had on the success of that venture. So whatever your business is, and that's volunteer work, of course, in church we're all volunteers. And your and my opportunity in business, no matter what your business is to make a key choice every single day. And you can't just make it one and done. You got to reaffirm it every day about who you are going to be. So whether you're watching this on LinkedIn and you're thinking, well, this crap has nothing to do with business, I can tell you your business will grow faster, your connections will be deeper, your networking will be better, your prospecting will be more successful, and your client closing ratio will be higher if you pay attention to who you are being. You know what the good news is about that? All those stories we have, I can't this, and I'm shy, and I'm late, and I'm not organized, and I can't this and that, they're all just labels, and they come from some past experience. No matter what they have been, even if they're completely true, you can change them today, this day, and they may not change all at once. It can be a process. So if you've been a person who hasn't been paying 1,000,000% attention to who you are being as you do every activity for the day, I invite you to change that. And if you'd like to talk more about it, reach out and let's chat about it. But making conscious choices about who you are being, how you're going to show up in every conversation. So I get invitations all the time, and you probably do too, on LinkedIn especially, but it comes on Facebook a lot. Hi, I see you're a coach. I can double or triple your leads. I can get you more clients. And invariably, all of those, almost without exception, all are telling me what they're doing. So I'm going to do something that'll help you, Kellan, somehow get more leads for your business. You know what I've discovered? I don't care what you do until I know who you're being. Are you honest? Are you exciting? Are you in love with life? Are you a person of service? Who are you? And that's usually the answer I give back. You know what? I'd love to talk to you, but not about your offering, because I don't care what you do until I understand who you are. And I don't know how you, speaking to this person that wrote that to me, I don't know how you even think you can help me until you know who I am. Like, this understanding of who we are in the world is so critical if you're trying to grow your business, your influence, your power, your followers, your sales, and, oh, by the way, your happiness. That's the whole premise. And if you haven't seen the podcast, Your Ultimate Life, I'm asking you, suggesting to you, go right to your favorite podcast place and look up Your Ultimate Life with Kellan. You know, I'm doing it, and I've been doing it now for 2 years almost. I'm in episode 650 something. And here's why, because it's only 15 minutes a day, but here's what it's about. It's about how you right now can create a life of purpose, prosperity, and joy by serving with your divine gifts. That means by being who you really are all the way to the core, authentically, truly, no hiding, no camouflage. And the joy of all this is every single one of us is a divine being on a journey. And the more we connect with each other in our humanness and love, the better we do. The more connection we have, the more love we feel, the more we can help each other. All of that is true and powerful and good. And so if you want to have authentic business, then have it. Let your business, make your business the most authentic, true expression of yourself. Remind yourself every day who you're being, because that's way more important than what you do. That's all. I've got to jump off because I've got to go get on that first podcast. And I get a chance to talk about stuff on this podcast today just like that, about how to change and how to be more authentic. I would love to talk to you. Thanks, and go check out that podcast. And we'll see you in the next live.